Horde has sort of been around since 2008, and we've been improving it ever since. And one of the big changes that we have in Horde now is that the actual characters have ultimate abilities, like we refer to as characters as heroes. And so they have an ultimate ability that they can trigger as they're playing. They have passives, so every character has a little benefit that's different than the other characters. And you have this progression in both outside of the game where you earn skills and level them up, similar to Gears 4, but now you have progression inside the game. So as you're collecting power, you can invest in perks, and so you can give yourself more health and more damage, be able to carry more ammo. And so this idea of these characters as heroes really changes the game. And then we added a new type of sort of fortification, if you will, called the power tap. And so every 10 waves, a place on the map is going to open up where if you capture it, it'll give you more power every wave. And so power is kind of what fuels Horde. It's what allows you to build fortifications, it allows you to put perks onto your character, so you want as much as possible. So every 10 waves, a new power tap's going to open up, and then you have to decide, do we stay defending this part of the map, or do we expand and go and try to capture that new power tap so that we can keep getting more and more power? So there's always that risk reward. Escape was born out of the idea of sort of like looking at taking Horde and putting it on its head. We love Horde, and it's one of my favorite modes ever, but it can take a couple hours to play. So we looked at like, what are the other options? We wanted to have fewer players, so when you're trying to find 4 friends to play with, now you only have to find 2 because Escape is a 3-player game. Basically, it's a much more aggressive, Horde is a very defensive game, and this is a very aggressive, you have to move forward through. And so this sort of shorter duration, more aggressive way to play is kind of the opposite of the way that you think about Horde. And so that was really the idea. It was like, hey, how can I play a cool cooperative experience that takes 20-25 minutes instead of 2-3 hours? We use this term that co-op is cake. It's not icing for Gears of War. It's very core to what we believe in. And part of that is just my belief in shared experiences. The notion that when I meet fans and talk to them at conventions or conferences, what I get are the stories about how Gears of War brought them together. And so we have 3-player co-op in the campaign, and 3-player co-op in Escape, and 5-player co-op in Horde. And what's great is actually we have the ability to play couch co-op. So you can do 3-player split screen so that you don't have to do it online. You can do it right on your couch. You can play campaign or Escape. All 3 players can be on the same couch. There's a couple of really brand new weapons that I think are really special to me that I think are really cool. One is the Lancer GL, and it's basically sort of a Lancer rifle, but instead of a chainsaw, it's got essentially a motor tube on the bottom. So that idea of being able to just shoot rockets into the sky to rain down, destruction onto the enemy is really fun. And the other is the Warden's Breaker. It's sort of this 4-bladed axe mace thing. That idea of having this giant club that you can sort of finish people and throw them over your shoulder and be able to just destroy juvies with these giant baseball swings is just so much fun.